This week, the truck is alive, diesel shot sky high, and brokers continue to lie. Hi everyone, I'm Connor for Crossbuck RV Transport, and I want to thank you for joining me today for another video. It really does mean the most that you all continue to watch and comment. For those who don't remember, the last update was my truck went down for a week to replace the Huey pump. Well, I'm happy to say that it's alive and good as new. That Huey repair was costly, and I decided to gamble by taking my longest load yet. 1,165 miles to Fountain, Colorado for a measly $249 per mile or $2,900 gross. This was a favor for dispatch, a hot load that sat on the board for weeks. I could see why once I hooked up. These things weighed a ton. Actually, they weighed about 6 tons. I'll do my best to never pull these again, as they're a bit much for my truck, especially coming up and over the mountains of Colorado. That second unit, although shorter, actually weighed a bit more because it is an entirely electric solar camper. There is a ton of batteries in that thing and it adds an extra ton of weight to it. Literally. Delivery went smooth at least, and that meant it was time to get my backhaul. Only that didn't happen. Brokers are dirtbags. I think we can all agree on that. Anyone who makes their living leeching off of hardworking folks are the lowest of low in any industry. But this broker, Breamway LLC, is one of the worst. I first called on the load, and even though it was posted for $600, I was told the customer couldn't do it for more than $500. This is a common tactic brokers do to pocket more money from the hardworking drivers, and yet I agreed to do it for $500 because I wanted the load and I was willing to do it for that rate. Then they sent the rate con over for only $450. They called again asking why I hadn't confirmed it, saying that the customer got a lower rate from elsewhere. That's why it was now $450. So I told him to take that rate and take that shipper. I'll bounce empty before I deal with someone so shady. At that point, I should mention the caller ID doesn't even match the business name on Central Dispatch. And I say that to show you all the calls from them trying to get me back after they realized they screwed up. Sure enough, it was posted later that day for an even higher $700, no doubt after they already told the customer that they had a driver coming to get it. I feel bad for whoever took this load. I'm sure they got jerked around too. And I feel bad for the customer who just wanted to get their car shipped. But you get what you pay for, and when you try to book with the cheapest shipper out there, or in this case the cheapest broker, you get what you pay for. And for many of us, sometimes it really isn't worth it to mess around with these reloads on Central Dispatch. So after scooting back to Indiana empty, and a weekend at home, it was back at it again, but to Rapid City, South Dakota next. This uneventful trip put me back in the better paying loads, $264 a mile at 1,039 miles for $2,743 gross. On the way home, another one of y'all spotted me, Mr. Big Mike Ilo, and you were even nice enough to reach out and leave a comment after seeing me pull off the highway. It's always cool when y'all spot me, and I try my best to look out for all y'all too. Thankfully, there was nothing wrong. I was just pulling off to fly the drone for a bit. One of the many perks of this job is you get paid to sightsee, and I use that perk to the fullest, seen here checking out this rare diesel locomotive. This EMD DDA 40X, formerly of the Union Pacific Railroad. At 98 feet long and putting out 6,600 horsepower, these must have been a sight to see in their glory days. Now I got lucky, and I was able to snag one more shorter run to round out this week. Unfortunately, it was one of the lesser paying loads again, $249 a mile and 609 miles for $1,516 gross. Pleasureland RV in St. Cloud, Minnesota was a delight to check in at. I highly recommend taking loads here if you get the chance. The staff is wonderful. But the high winds meant no drone shots at the unload. And dropping midday Friday meant no chance of getting a decent reload home. All of the good loads had already been booked up, and I don't haul cheap freight. So, empty once again back to Indiana. So now that we've seen the truck is running well, and I've had my fun on the road, let's get into the numbers for weeks 5 and 6. Expenses these 2 weeks consisted of just fuel and my truck insurance, thankfully. I can't express how happy I was to not have any further breakdowns or repairs, and just $1,932 in fuel expense and $350 in truck expense. This brings the total expenses to date to $23,048. Income for weeks 5 and 6 was certainly nothing special, but I'm happy with it for the 10 days worked out of 14. $6,581 gross, or $658 for each day worked, for those of you who prefer to measure it that way. Decent numbers considering I still haven't had a backhaul yet. And that brings the total gross to date to $14,433. These 2 weeks really helped put a dent in the expenses, and you can see how quickly I'm catching back up. Thank you all for staying to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more RV transport videos. As always, these videos are a little delayed, and this will come out just after the 4th of July. So I wish you all the best and hope you enjoyed the 4th, and still have all of your fingers after the fireworks. I'm Connor for Crossbuck RV Transport. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.